been doing sales for 10 years now, and along those 10 years, I learned 7 lessons the hard way. I believe that they could have saved me so much time if someone had told me this when I started sales. So if you're someone in sales, this might actually really be helpful. Everything that I'm about to share with you has been learned the hard way for me, and I generally wish someone had told this to me before. So let me walk you through the 7 lessons, and hopefully this is helpful to you if you're someone in sales or interested in sales, or simply someone who understands that sales is freedom, and if you know how to sell, the amount of opportunities that you will have in your life are just exponentially higher. The first thing I wrote down is fake it till you make it is bullshit. Like, I remember when I got into sales being very much into this fake it till you make it mindset, and this is probably one of the quickest ways to not learn anything, because if you act like you know everything around you, you're not going to learn from the people around you. You're not going to be open to learn. You start being somehow arrogant as well, because you just generally believe that you're going to impress people. First of all, people can smell your bullshit. Like, they really can tell right away that you don't know what you're talking about. And again, it just will shut down every opportunity to learn from the people you're interacting with. It will make you a poor listener. And overall, you will just be talking to the wrong people about the wrong things. So fake it till you make it is a myth. It doesn't work. Be humble, be honest about how much you know, and showcase how much you want to know, and things will get better. Yeah. The second thing that I wrote down is chase rejection and no's instead of chasing the yes. I remember starting in sales being always trying to get people to say yes, because if you think about it, when you're selling, the main thing, the best case scenario is the person saying, yes, I'm going to buy. And the problem with that mentality of you chasing for a yes is that you will start being extremely, ignorant about signals where people clearly say no, they just don't want to hurt your feelings. And you just end up talking to the wrong person and wasting time basically with the wrong people. So my advice to my younger self will really have been to say, chase no, allow people to be in a comfortable situation to say no right away. No, I'm not interested. No, I will never be interested. Like, chase the rejection. It's not supposed to be a painful feeling. It's supposed to feel like, hey, great, we did save a lot of time here because, you told me right away you were not interested. So chase rejection and no, yes will come later down the line. Another thing that I wrote down is never assume. And what I mean with never assuming is there's a lot of situations where, when you talk to a customer or a prospect, they will provide to you, data points and information. And often there's going to be information gaps between, things. To have a clear picture of someone's situation, there's going to be a lot of information gaps. And especially when you have more experience, you might have a tendency to assume and connect the dots. Meanwhile, the only person who should and can actually truly connect the dots is your customer. And I think often it comes down from you trying to save time, or also you as a salesperson being scared to acknowledge that you just didn't get it. Like, sometimes you might have to ask people to repeat several times the same thing, and you still don't get it. And it might feel a bit like, oh my God, I will look so stupid if I ask again. But the reality is it's not the case, because the worst thing you can do is assuming that you did get it and you actually didn't. And now you're building your entire pitch and your solution proposal based on the wrong assumptions. Also, here's the reality is that if you can showcase to someone that you're humble enough to say, hey, I'm sorry, I will ask you to repeat this because I don't get it. Or, hey, sorry to ask you this a second time or a third time, I don't get it, I'm not sure I get it. Can you explain this again to me? You're giving the opportunity to people to talk more. They will feel more listened to. And you're just showcasing that you're humble enough to understand that you just don't have all the answers, which will showcase that at the end of the day, you and the customer are trying to find a solution towards a bigger goal. And you're not just trying to look smart or fulfilling your ego. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Definitely rambling a little bit here. Another thing that I wrote down as a fifth lesson that I took from my 10 years in sales is that transparency and being direct is the absolute shortcut to make more sales. Like, I remember learning all those sales tactics, because I did high impulse sales, like door to door knocking and trying to close deals on the spot and stuff. And it really taught me bad habits, because you're kind of like building your entire pitch with people around certain tactics. And the reality is that the only tactic that really seems to work the best for me is just be transparent. Like, if I meet someone, I will tell them right away what I have to sell. I will tell them exactly why I want them to buy it. And I'm just so transparent to people that sometimes people will confuse my transparency with sales tactics. And it's not the case. I don't want to sell anything anymore. I just want to find the buyer. And once you get into that mentality of like, hey, this is what I have to offer, this is what I do, this is how I get paid, this is what you get from it. There's no more sales tactics, there's no more tricks. There's just pure transparency and cutting through the noise as fast as you can. And this, I really wish someone had told me this, because transparency is the ultimate way to make deals happen, in my opinion. And if no one ever says yes, it's probably because your deal is shit. It's probably because your value proposition is garbage. And so instead of trying to push it down the throat of people, find a way to make it more attractive and to have more value to suggest. This is the right way to do it. And I've done sales in an environment that was pretty crappy. Like, I was selling, back in Australia, I was selling products that I generally didn't think were very good. And it really taught me the importance of like, believe in what you sell and feel comfortable with the value proposition that you have. And then transparency follows. And just be transparent to people and direct. If someone says like, oh, maybe, just tell them that maybe is not a real maybe. Maybe it's probably no. And so again, back to the chasing no thing, make them feel comfortable no to say no. Be direct, be transparent. It will serve you so well. The sixth thing I wrote down, I'm actually struggling to read it, but it's to own your role. Like, don't be ashamed of selling. Like, one of the things that I've struggled with for a while is to kind of try to camouflage the fact that I'm a salesperson. And I met a lot of people in that situation where they try to kind of mingle and be friends with everyone and then try to sell. And for me, I'm reaching the point now where I'm like, if someone's like, oh, you're trying to sell something to me, absolutely, that's how I make a living. And I just own it. Like, I'm a salesperson. I will always try to sell something. It's just how I make a living for myself. And beyond that, I just love it. I love to sell. And I think a lot of salespeople out there will have better results if they actually owned it and they didn't try to kind of hide the fact that they had something to sell. I don't know why there's a lot of stigmas around salespeople often. At least that's how I kind of grew up in the role. But with the experience that I have now, like I say, I fully own it. I'm absolutely selling. It's fine to me. I love it. So yeah. Quick vlog. You can tell it's a bit unstructured as per usual. But anyway. And the seventh thing I wrote down, which is something that I think more people should do. It will help them so much, but again, their ego stands in the way. But you should role play, because practice makes it perfect. And so before every pitch, speak out loud as well. Don't just run it through your head, like speak in front of your mirror or do it with a friend or whatever. But role playing is such an important and crucial thing, because if you can't feel confident during a role play, how on earth are you going to be confident during a sales pitch? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And so this is the last thing I wrote down. Anyway, like I said, I wanted to make this quick video. I think it can be helpful to some people out there in sales. I wish someone had told this to me, like, genuinely. I wasted a lot of time building on the wrong foundations. And so far, my conclusions are that sales is just being very good at finding a buyer. Like, there's not such a thing as sales tricks and sales tactics, because people are smart, People make their own decisions. And if you have an ego and you believe you can actually truly influence that much someone's decision making, you're full of yourself. Find the buyer, spend as little time as possible with people who are not interested, and your life will be great and you will make a lot of sales. At least, that's my belief. See you guys in the next one. Cheers.